I want to give you guys a few minutes to come in. Today we will be discussing the illusion of control. And I like to start these off with our breath and 3 deep breaths, because our breath is an act of self-love. And it's something that I've learned to constantly practice because it helps you get through so many different situations. So when I close my fist is when you're going to release your breath. So we're going to start off with 3 deep breaths. And ready? Not when I close my fist, when I open my hand. I'm so sorry. Ready? One more. Okay, so that's always extremely helpful. And thank you for understanding. Okay, so I wrote a few notes, and I wanted to start off by explaining that when I say it's an illusion, control is an illusion, it's something we create out of fear of being hurt or out of lack of faith in the universe, God, source, whatever it is you believe, having our back and helping us push through something, or allowing, it to be handled properly. Because it's so much easier sometimes, and we get so comfortable in that pain, and so then we end up creating more of an illusion, like we're able to hold on and just never get hurt again and really just not move forward. I was reading something about elephants because I like to really teach my youngest, well, both my daughters, a lot about animals and the respect to have for animals. And we were talking about elephants, and what I read about elephants, who, by the way, are the strongest walking animal there is, as a baby, they tie them to a tree stump, right? So as a little baby elephant, when you tie them to a tree stump, they can't move forward. They feel like they're limited because they don't know their strength yet, right? So then as the elephant gets larger and bigger, it's so used to being conditioned and limited to that tree stump that it doesn't understand its weight and its strength and what it's capable of. So basically they break the elephant's spirit, which is really sad. And the truth is, most of us are very broken in a lot of areas. Different things happen to us, and different things that are out of our control most of the time. So what we do is we don't know how to fix it, and we're a culture that feels like we need to fix, right? And that's just not how it works. Like, you can't just fix it like this. What you have to really do is decondition. You have to create this safe area within and know what you are capable of and what you can do, right? So, one of the things that I like to do when I feel like something is so out of my control, and it's such an uncomfortable feeling, being in pain and feeling like you're not able to move forward. So one of the things I like to do, because I'm very big on affirmations, it's how I really started working on my self-love and healing, and creating a different mindset, and creating an unlimited belief in myself and in God and in the universe around me. So my mantra is, I let go, I let God. I allow God to work within me and around me. Now, you can say source, universe, whatever it is that works for you, but that's a mantra I'll constantly say when things are out of my control. And honestly, we can't control much, right? So these are the things that you can remember that you can control. Your breath, which, like I said, I don't think we realize how often we're not breathing, that we're not really, we're just holding on. We're just trying to get by. Your self-talk, affirmations, if there's a situation going on that you have no control over and that you can't handle, you can say that mantra. Your gratitude raises your vibration, and it also helps you remember the beautiful things that are around you, and it doesn't keep you focused on that fear or that illusion of control. Your attitude, which isn't always easy, but it's so easy to blame our attitude for different situations, but we can control our attitude and your perspective, how you view things and how you feel, and your unlimited or limited belief in yourself, right? So I want to give you guys an example of the illusion of control and how to pull it back within yourself. The other day I posted on my Instagram, I was in a parking lot, right? And the woman opened her car door and she hit my car door really hard. And I've done that before, and I always apologize. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. And she hit it really hard and she stared at me. So, that was really difficult because she was very aware of what she did and what happened, but she also had no respect. She also didn't say anything, and I had two choices, and whether or not I like her behavior, I can't control. I don't know what's going on in her life. I can't control what's going on. I can't control how she deals with things, and I can't control how she deals with me. At that very moment, I had the ability to say, okay, Cynthia, you can get out of the car and approach her and say, I know you saw me. Like, what was that really gonna do? Of course she saw me. We connected eyes. But I brought it back to myself. And I did my deep breaths. And I took my deep breaths and I reminded myself, you've come so far. And there's nothing you can do. It already happened. So that's what I can control at that moment. And when you aren't present and you're not mindful and you're not working on your self-love and healing and on your breath, it's so easy to react and it's so easy to be triggered. So, yes, exactly. So that's how you can bring it back to yourself, and that's how you can, work on what you can control. And that's one of the most important things to remember. So, okay, also, being able to remember that you have to have faith, remembering, I was raised in a very religious background. I'm more spiritual now. But I know how big God is. I know how great the universe is. And I know that there is something so much bigger than me working for me. I know my ancestors are with me. They're constantly showing signs. Recently, Moonlight Goddess, who is also on Intuitive Soul Sisters, who is a very great healer, she put something up about how many times do you have to get a sign, I forget the exact wording, but to know when it's time to believe it, when it's time to follow it. And yeah, there was a time in my life where I was constantly getting signs and I was ignoring them, or I was like, okay, not that sign, what sign, what sign? But you have to get to a place in your life that you are able to stand in your power and know what you can control and know what you cannot. Because then you are really able to create the life you want. And then that's when no one is able to pull you out of that. No one's able to really take you out of that space. And that's a space that I feel is one of the most comfortable spaces I've ever been in. I did not even know this type of peace existed, right? And when I say faith, and like I said, it doesn't matter really what you believe. If you're here right now, you believe in something. And even if you don't, just take a moment and think about the fact that we walk outside and these trees are helping us breathe, are creating that oxygen for us to breathe, and we don't need to do anything for them. The universe, Mother Nature takes care of them. So there's something constantly working on our side and for us to help us. So when you are feeling out of control and when a situation arises, I challenge you to say that mantra, to remember that, I let go and I let God. I allow God to work within me and around me. And repeat it constantly so that you can have that faith and you can raise your vibration. And honestly, I feel like it allows the universe, it allows God to step in and really help you understand that you're not alone. I wanted to pull a card as well from the Angel Therapy deck to see what we have to work on as far as our healing this week and any guidance. If anybody has any questions, you can ask as well. I know it's difficult, and I know it's not easy. I remember when I was getting sexually molested as a child, right? And I think talking about those deep wounds is one of the most difficult things because it makes us vulnerable and it brings us back to that space. But after it would happen, I would go upstairs and I would go in the linen closet, right? And I would hide, and I was afraid. And I was a little girl. But I felt so safe in that closet, and it was so dark. And I felt God at that moment. You see, we are blessed with free will. We are blessed with the ability to choose. So I cannot help what happened to me. What I can help is how I react at this point to it. And not dealing with things that come up forces us to hold on to that control and that illusion, because we cannot change things. We cannot change what happened to us. All we can change is our reaction and how to move forward. I also learned in that linen closet that the dark isn't so scary. And sometimes we run so far away from our pain and acknowledging what happened to us that and then we wonder why we're uncomfortable. We wonder why this anxiety is created and we're so angry. It's because we're not facing our shadow. We're not facing that dark. And I can tell you that facing the dark is one of the most important parts of your healing. You cannot get to the light. You cannot feel better until you face that dark. Okay, so 2 cards this week. The first card is base chakra. Choose only positive thoughts. Exactly, you can't heal what you won't feel. Choose only positive thoughts to describe your home, career, and finances, as your words determine your outcome, right? This goes back to what I was saying as far as your mantra. You can control your thoughts. You can control how you, and I know it's difficult sometimes because it's like, well, I'm in pain, or I keep thinking of this, keep thinking of this. Well, it's coming up and it's a trigger because you have to deal with it. So work on your thoughts and to describe your home, career, and finances as your words determine your outcome. That's what you can control. And that's how you manifest, by creating a safe place within. What is it you want? What is it you're tired of being in pain from? I know, your mantra could be, I no longer hold on to anyone and anything that no longer serves my highest good. Because if you're trying to evolve and if you're uncomfortable and you're watching this, it's because you're tired and it's time. The next card is crystals. The energy of crystals supports you and helps you with your present situation. So if you don't have any crystals, I encourage you to look some up or speak to a healer or someone that you know. You can even Google, go to different spiritual shops on what crystals you may need and what may help you. The energy behind a crystal is so powerful. I keep certain ones in my bra when I go out, under my pillow. They really help in your healing process. And I feel like bringing things back to the natural state of things and going back to nature is really what we as a collective are being called to do. Not to just go, and counseling is great. I totally believe in counseling. But remember, this is someone else still. You still have to do the work. I went to counseling. You still have to do the work. And this is someone else telling you how to handle things. So you still have to go within. Yes, crystals are amazing. I'm going to pull one more card for you guys. And if you have any questions about anything, let me know. Vegetarian, vegan card. Fresh organic fruits and vegetables give you a boost of high life force energy, which elevates your spiritual frequency. I can tell you this for sure. Everything is energy. I went vegetarian. I don't say vegan only because I feel like there's so many other restrictions that I don't follow yet, but I don't eat animals. I don't eat meat anymore. I don't make eggs anymore, anything like that. And I can tell you that my vibration definitely raised because of it. I think clearer, my intuition is better. And even if you choose to eat meat, that's fine. I'm not judging you. I ate it my whole life. But you need to have, part of your self-care is your diet. Part of your nurturing of yourself and bringing yourself back to a healthy state, mind, body, and spirit, is what you're feeding your physical and your vessel, and what you're feeding your mental, what you're putting in. Try to listen to different YouTube videos or different inspirational videos. Get back into reading. Make sure you're nurturing all of you. So I hope this is helpful. Do any of you have any questions? And I'm gonna put the, if you follow me on YouTube, on Instagram, I'm gonna put that mantra on Instagram for you, so that when you feel like you are trying to control everything, you can remember what you are. I just got in Juice Plus supplements and I'm excited for the benefits. Yes, that's great. I've heard a lot about that. That's great. I'm excited for you. I really am. I didn't realize how much our nutrition was part of our self-care until I completely switched it. I was neglecting myself. So do you guys have any questions? And just a friendly reminder, just like that elephant, something broke your spirit. And something that happened to you created this fear of the illusion of control. And you're not alone. You're not alone, and you can come out of it. You can learn to trust more, and you can create a completely different life for yourself. I saw I do. Any questions, guys? Just... Okay, so if there are no questions, in the month of November, I'm going to do a drawing for the people who are showing up and doing the work. And if there's something you get from this channel and from these videos, make sure you tag me in it, put it on Instagram. You could put it on your story so I can enter you in the drawing. What do you do when you let go for a whole year, but then what do you do when you let go for a whole year, but then the ex comes back in your dreams dealing with a narcissist? I dealt with a narcissist. That's so difficult. What you do is you have to be clear about your boundaries. The example I always give people, you know how they say you need to draw a line, and also to figure out why you don't have boundaries. Me not having boundaries really stemmed from the sexual abuse. You know, they were taken from me and I felt like I didn't deserve them. So I don't just draw a line in the sand when I'm done with someone. I pour quicksand, meaning there is no communication. You can't come back to me, because when I step into someone's life, I step in to add value. I step in with my glittery feet, and I spread shine and love and abundance. So you have to draw a line, but you have to pour quicksand in that line. So cut off communication, block them, don't answer them, especially with a narcissist. They feed off of you. They feed off of any attention, and they're so good at what they do. You know, they have politician behavior. They know how to manipulate you and pull you back in. And how do you get rid of and how do you starve a narcissist? You give it nothing. You give them nothing. You give them no time. You give them no energy, and you give them no response. And you take your power back. Okay, guys, I want to thank you so much for joining me. I hope this video was helpful. I will post it on, I will post the mantra on my Instagram. I love you all so much. Continue to do the work, and you're welcome. Have a great Sunday.